Hey everyone, Hikaru here today. We're diving into the world of chess. You've probably seen it in movies, or heard people call it a game for geniuses. Let's be real. It's not that complicated to start. Chess is a game of strategy, a battle of minds between two opponents. It's played on a simple 64-square board, but the possibilities are nearly endless. Millions of people all over the world play this game. Kids in a park, grandmasters in world championship matches. It's a universal language. The goal is simple: corner the enemy king. But getting there, that's where the real fun begins. First things first, let's talk about the board. The chessboard is your battlefield. It's a perfect square made up of 64 smaller squares, arranged in an 8x8 grid. These squares alternate between two colors, one light, one dark. We usually call them white-black squares, even if the board is, say, brown-cream. This pattern is crucial for understanding how some pieces move and for referencing specific squares on the board. The board has a very specific orientation, and if you get it wrong, the whole setup will be incorrect. It's a simple but vital first step. The most important rule for setting up the board is this: white on the right. Now let's meet the soldiers. Each player starts with an army of 16 pieces. These pieces are not all the same. Different names, different values, different ways of moving. There are 6 unique types of pieces in your army: 1 king, 1 queen, 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 2 knights, 8 pawns. Learning how each one moves is the absolute core of chess. It's like learning the alphabet before you can read. Once you know their moves, you can start forming a plan. Let's break them down one by one. The rook is like a castle tower. It moves in straight lines, as many squares as you want. Okay, you know the board and you know the pieces. Now it's time to set them up for a game. The setup is always the same, so memorizing it is key. Let's start with the back row, which is called the first rank for white and the 8th rank for black. This is where your most powerful pieces reside. The pawns will form a wall in front of them, ready to march forward into enemy territory. Let's place the big pieces first. The rooks go in the corners. Rook on a1, rook on h1. Next to the rooks you place the knights, knight on b1, knight on g1. Next to the knights come the bishops, bishop on c1, bishop on f1. Now you've filled up almost the entire back rank, with only 2 squares left in the center. The queen always goes on her own color. White queen on d1, black queen on d8. The king then takes the last remaining square next to his queen. Now place the pawns on the 2nd and 7th ranks. Now that the board is set up, let's go over the fundamental rules of how a game of chess unfolds. First, white always moves first, always. After white makes one move, black makes one move. You can only move one piece per turn. One exception is castling. We'll cover that later. The game is a sequence of back-and-forth moves. Each player tries to improve position and attack. A key action is capturing. Move onto a square with an opponent's piece, remove that piece, and place yours there. The captured piece is out for good. Pawns move straight forward. Pawns capture one square diagonally forward. Other pieces capture the way they move. The ultimate goal revolves around the king. The beginning of the game is called the opening. There are thousands of named openings and theories about them, but as a beginner, you don't need to worry about that. Instead, focus on a few simple, powerful principles. The goal of the opening is not to checkmate your opponent in 5 moves. The goal is to get your pieces into the game effectively. Control the center of the board. Make sure your king is safe. If you can achieve these 3 things in your first 10 to 15 moves, you're doing great. Don't just move pieces randomly. Have a purpose. Your first priority should be to control the center. d4, e4, d5, e5. These squares are central. A great way to start is by moving one of your center pawns 2 squares forward, e4 or d4. This opens lines for your queen and bishops. Start the fight for control. Develop your knights before bishops, for example f3 and c3. Once the opening is over and your pieces are developed, you enter the middle game. This is where the real strategic battle happens. It's less about memorized moves and more about good plans and calculations. The first and most important principle is to think about piece value. A queen is worth about 9 points, a rook 5, bishops and knights 3, a pawn 1. Use these as a guide. Control of the center remains critical. Pieces in the center have more mobility and influence. Keep your pieces active. Don't leave them stuck on their starting squares. Look for open files for your rooks and long diagonals for your bishops. Aim to make every piece contribute to the fight. An inactive piece is a wasted resource. Most importantly, keep your king safe. Always ask, is my king safe? Chess has a rich and fascinating history that stretches back over 1,500 years. The game we play today evolved from chaturanga in India. It appeared around the 6th century. Chaturanga represented infantry, cavalry, elephants, and chariots. Our pawns, knights, bishops, and rooks. The game spread to Persia and became shatranj. The term checkmate comes from Persian shamat, the king is dead. From Persia, the game entered the Arab world and then Europe. In 15th century Europe, the rules were changed to make the game faster and more exciting. The queen became powerful, and pawns gained the two-square initial move. Many famous figures like Napoleon and Benjamin Franklin played and wrote about chess. A fun fact, the number of possible unique chess games is astronomically large, roughly 10 circumflex 120, called the Shannon number. The longest possible chess game is theoretically 5,949 moves due to draw rules. You can learn basics in minutes, but mastering chess is a lifelong journey. The first official world championship was 1886, and a lineage of champions continues to today. So, you've learned the rules, played a few games, and you want to improve. What's next? The single best way to get better at chess is simply to play. Play as much as you can. Play online on sites like chess.com or Lichess. Play against friends, family, or computer opponents. Every game you play is a learning experience. Don't be afraid to lose. You will lose a lot at first. Every loss is a lesson. Write notes and analyze your mistakes. Use online analysis tools to find blunders and better moves. Spending just 5 minutes reviewing a game is highly effective. Solve chess puzzles daily to sharpen tactical vision. Learn motifs like forks, pins, and skewers. Finally, watch and learn from others. Watch streamers on Twitch, like myself, or watch educational videos on YouTube. Watch top grandmasters and listen to their commentary. This helps you understand how strong players think. It gives you ideas for strategy and openings to try. The journey in chess is a long one, but it's incredibly fun. Be patient, stay curious, and most importantly, enjoy the game. Good luck on the 64 squares. Take it from me. You won't regret it. Every move matters. Practice, learn, have fun. Good luck. See you next time.